2,300 years ago, Alexander the Great invaded Asia, his goal to conquer the Persian Empire. We followed in his footsteps, a 20,000-mile journey from Greece to the plains of India. By the 5th year of the war, Persia had fallen and the Persian king had been killed. Alexander now set out to overrun their vast eastern empire, and he headed for Afghanistan. As Alexander saw it that winter, the eastern part of the Persian Empire was still unconquered. The Greek historian Arrian says a Persian nobleman, Bessus, had proclaimed himself king of Asia and was rallying resistance. It was Bessus who had murdered the previous king, Darius. Now he'd retreated north beyond the Hindu Kush mountains, thinking Alexander wouldn't try to cross till the snows had gone. Alexander took up the challenge. Alexander set off. Ahead of him, the great mass of the Hindu Kush, which rises to 20,000 feet. On the other side, his enemy Bessus was waiting. There were 3 main passes. Bessus expected Alexander to come the direct route, and he devastated the land there to deny Alexander supplies. But Alexander never did what was expected. He chose the longer eastern route and went up the Panjshir Valley, heading for the Khawak Pass.
Travelling up the Panjshir Valley today, it's almost impossible to believe that a great army could have made its way through here. But they did. Throughout the whole of history, armies had to find a way over the Hindu Kush. And this tended to be the favourite route. Tamburlaine the Great, for example, came this way on his way from the Oxus to India in 1398. And your main problem, especially in the spring, was not the terrain, but was the cold, and especially the lack of food and provisions. And as it turned out, that was exactly the problem that Alexander faced. I think this is it.
Finally, we reached the top and saw the view Alexander's men had seen all those years before.
We're here, Shahzad?
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. We made it. The top of the Khawak Pass is about 12,000 feet, and there the road stretching away down to the land of Bactria and former Soviet Central Asia. And around us the mountains of the Hindu Kush. The Greeks knew that these mountains were part of a continuous chain which split Asia in two and was the source of all the great rivers of Asia. And following Alexander's footsteps up here with this wind, you can really feel, whatever you think about him, what an amazing achievement it was to drive an army over these mountains. Nothing stopped him, said the historian Arrian. Nothing put him off. He just kept coming on and on, whatever the cold or the starvation. He drove on, and in the end, his enemies were struck with fear at the speed of his advance. I'll bet they were.